Well. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. You are now tuning in to the Heavy Hitters. ATL. Oh, let's get it. Hey, what it do, people? What it do? G, what you got going on down there? Somebody says they want to say, hey, who that is?
They can hear you now, man. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Well, you live now. They see you.
Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy is the name. What's going on, people? What is going on? As y'all already know, that, like I said, the title does not deceive you. The Heavy Hitters is coming to a program, computer, phone near you. I am your host, the 6-man, K-Styles. To my stage left, as you already know, it is Mad Mike Sports in the building. And it wouldn't be the Heavy Hitters without a minister. We feel whole again as he gets his ass back on the screen, so we can go ahead and shout him out. Hold on.
We know what that going dark means. We know what that going dark means.
Oh yeah, that is true. Okay, we got Jude, Talk, Sports, and Twins.
What's up, y'all, man? I got the baby kids in the back coming in the room, so I was like, y'all come on in here, say what's up.
Hey, man, hey, we love it, man. We love it. But he already look, he looked like he ready to take somebody's damn money out their purse. All right, man. We appreciate everybody, man. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all go hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share this. Like I said, man, Heavy Hitters is back. Now, like I said, you hear the beat, right? What does that mean? We got 3 special words for the people. What are those words? Roll cow! Yeah! Bam! And today's roll call, as y'all already know, we got to shout out the members first. Members get it on first. We got Big. That kind of didn't sound right, so let me rephrase that. You know, we got to hit the members first. Like I said, we got Big Ant in the building. We got Jerry Bowie. Let's see, who else is in here? As of right now, those are the only members. So let's go ahead and get to the rest of the family. And the rest of the family, we got Sherman Wood, not Leo, but Lee 85. I don't know where the hell I was getting Leo at. We got Pat Norris in the building. We got Robert Ponder, the OG Big Sam, Joseph Ford. There go ATL Leo right there. There we go. Tony Hall, JB, Floyd Dolly. We got Trey in the building. Make sure you show Trey some love, man. That's one of my young gunners over there. JB, Tail Sports Gaming. We got Maggie, it's Maggie T in the building. Make sure you show her some love as well. We got Georgia, Texas boy, Wallace Smith. The therapist is in the building. Nathan Floyd, Jonta Rozier, Matt Town Dirty, Dre Murphy, John St. Clair, Steph Mo, TV 23, Southside. Man, y'all coming in heavy, boy. I think they missed the heavy hitters. They already came in heavy.
Well, they always, God dang.
And man, you say, man, y'all go ahead and get Champagne Confessions to 600. They may have a special prize for y'all if y'all do so. So make sure y'all hit 600. And let's get it though. So let's go ahead. DJ, cut the beat. All right. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? Like I said, everybody that's watching now, everybody's in the chat. Make sure you put your red and black in the chat. Let us know how your day been today. Hopefully, if it hasn't been good, let's make it good. So, let's go ahead and y'all want to go ahead and get straight into it, or y'all got something else y'all want to talk about before we get to the main topic?
It's just good to be back, man. We appreciate the love.
I want to talk about. I want to talk about what I was thinking when I decided to grow my fro out. I have no idea because I'm hot as a mug with this thing. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess I'm gonna keep it because like having this hat on, and I got a fan here and it's still hot. Yeah, so
I'm about to say, boy, you look like you got a
1955 growing this fro out. I have no idea.
That boy look like he got a 1955 Chevy C10 with a sputtering engine. Oh man. Well, that's all you got, Mike. Fro season coming. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, I already know. Yeah, like I said, we got a lot of red and black in here, man. Sonya's gonna be. You ain't got nothing. You got your Braves elves in the back. You ain't got nothing.
Well, I did, but I forgot what it was. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I do. Saquon Barkley, man.
Okay. So, you're getting the first Saquon down Barkley kickoff segment.
Hold on. I gotta do something. I don't feel.
Wait.
Hold on.
God damn it, Mike. All right. So, as far as since Mike brought it up, as everybody already knows, it's been reported news that Saquon Barkley has decided to forego the mandatory camps right now until they get a contract done. As y'all have heard that he's not really happy about that because I think he feels like he deserves to get a little bit more. Like I said, we ain't gonna waste a lot of time on this because we really want to get into this topic here. But
oh yeah, I'm sorry, I just didn't fit. I don't know what's wrong. Look, I'm paying for 5G and getting 3G, and then I'm paying a dang near over $100 over internet, and my internet going like complete bonkers for the last month. So I'm not happy. I guess they know that I'm about to move, so they're just like, we're gonna give you trash until you get out of the neighborhood.
Say we're gonna give you that Earthlink connection,
bruh. Ever since I announced that I'm moving, my internet been acting like an absolute. It's been trash, bro. It's been absolute garbage.
Damn. But go ahead, Mike. You say you wanted to speak.
Yeah, Saquon. I already know what you gonna say. So I already know what you gonna say. So my thing is I think the important thing again, I can't believe we right back in there. But this is where players have to understand where they are at this point in time as far as the NFL and the game is. It's no longer about getting as much money you can possibly get and and just forget everybody else. I think that's the biggest thing. Players are so infatuated with getting their money, getting $100 million as quick as fast as possible without it actually being, you know, how can I say this the right way without the same seeming assholish? Um, I just think players of today are not worrying about their teammates. They're so infatuated with how they're going to get paid and what their image is. They're not taking they're not taking their teammates, and I think Saquon Barkley is being incredibly selfish um in this moment. Like you're a running back, all right, and are you the best player on your team? I don't think so anymore. I think for the last couple of years he thought he was, but I think the best player on that team right now is Dexter Lawrence, bro. And then you got Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he's surpassed him also. So I think you got two players right now that are the best players on that team. Now, as far as the offense is concerned, I think he does deserve to get somewhere. I think he deserved to at least get $15 million. I do believe that, but anything higher than that, he done lost his freaking mind. And I'm a I'm a pass it to you because I already know what he's going to say. So I'm gonna pass it to him right now.
So I'm gonna say this, and Mike, it was funny earlier. You had sent it in the chat. It was like I already know what you gonna say. Laugh out loud, but actually, I'm gonna surprise you with this one, Mike.
I
After
knew he
listening,
was gonna throw me a
yeah,
curveball. I knew
yeah,
he was gonna throw me a
yeah,
curveball.
I'm actually surprise you with this one. Yeah, man. Usually, y'all know I go one way, but when it comes to the running back position, you guys know how I feel about you draft running backs every year, like every single year. But there are some exceptions to the rule. Now, Mike, you are correct when you say that you kind of know where I was going because I'm not too sure if Saquon Barkley is the exception to that rule. You guys know that the running back market right now is kind of suppressed because the quarterbacks are making so much money and the wide receivers, and now it's a passing league. And how you were just stating, Mike, that you don't know if he's the best player on the Giants anymore. You forgot they also traded for Darren Waller, the tight end from the Raiders. He's on the
Ah,
Giants now as well. So he's going to be a guy I don't know if he already got paid. I think he did get a big contract, and they took on his contract when
he
he
took
before
on
he,
the contract. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So my thing is this, like, and he Saquon Barkley, I listened to what he said. He talked about Derrick Henry kind of being one of those guys like in Tennessee, where I think we all would agree that he is the best player on the Titans or was the best player on the Titans when he got paid.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if Saquon Barkley is a running back like like a Derrick Henry or like a Adrian Peterson. I feel like those type of running backs, it's their exception to the rule when I say draft a running back every year or
Was you
don't pay that
spying
money.
on me? You had to been spying because I literally said that today in chat with Kel. I
Yeah,
literally said the same thing.
yeah. So there's
Exactly.
exceptions to the rule. But my thing with him is you might be right when you say, Mike, I know where you going because I don't know because of the injuries. Saquon Barkley is an incredible
Right.
talent, but his injuries is what scare me. Like I would be scared to pay him. So to be honest, I understand exactly where the Giants are coming from. He was naming all of these different running backs, but it's like, are you those running backs you're naming? Like you're naming
Ooh,
Henry, you're naming, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I would put him on the level of a Derrick Henry, or I don't know if I'll put him on the level of an
I'm
Adrian.
not doing it. And
And those guys, right?
that's
Those
what we
guys
were
are
saying
top
earlier
running
too,
backs.
dude. We were saying that about his running ability.
Right,
Saquon is a home run hitter. I call him like a Tevin Coleman. That he's a Tevin Coleman. That's essentially what he is at this point.
right. I agree with you. And I haven't seen Saquon Barkley for the most part Derrick Henry literally took over football games. Have we really seen Saquon Barkley take over football games? I can't say that I've seen enough of that to give him like call him like a franchise running back. Like guys like Derrick Henry, guys like Adrian Peterson, you literally could, like, they were the focal points of the offense. Last year with their team, really it was a combination of him running and Daniel Jones running. So both of those guys were like in tandem. It really wasn't like, okay, we just gonna feed Saquon Barkley and then our quarterback and everybody else is just trash. Like they were kind of similar to the Falcons when we had Marcus Mariota. Like their game is similar. The way that they were running their offense was a lot of quarterback, RPO running, screen pass to Saquon Barkley. So to me, I don't think that Saquon Barkley, I don't necessarily agree with some of the statements that he made as far as him speaking on himself. I think the names that he brought up were valid, like Derrick Henry, like I mentioned, Derrick Henry, Adrian Peterson. Some guys are exceptions to that rule. Even like CMC, when he was with the Carolina Panthers, he was a guy at one point, even though they ran him in the ground, at one point he was like pretty much the whole offense for the Carolina Panthers. So that's the reason he got that big contract. But we've seen even with a guy like him, when he finally broke down, he wasn't worth that money that they gave him. And that's why Carolina eventually had to move on. So if I'm in this situation, I'm leaning towards the Giants. Like if I was in the negotiation part and I'm the GM for the Giants, I'm on the Giants side at this point because Saquon Barkley to me hasn't shown me enough. Like I would tell him, prove it to me this year. And then if you ball out this year, we can see that you the focal point of the offense, okay, we'll give you that contract you asking for. But he'll be done similar to what we've been doing with our Atlanta Falcons, a 1-year prove it deal. So we did give him like a big contract. I would tell him, look, I'll give you 1 big year with an option. Or if we're going to give you the money you're looking for, it's going to be a whole bunch of clauses in it. We've seen what the Taysom Hill have, all of them different. You got to play 50 snaps. That's what I would do, man. I would give him a whole bunch of those type of incentives. If we're going to give him a big deal, meaning if you get hurt, that's going to be in your contract. And we know players start adding those type of clauses in their contract. So that's where I would lean towards it. And I'll let K go because I know I done said a mouthful, but usually I lean towards the player. But in this instance, Saquon, he's bringing up names and he's not one of those names in my book as far as
how very villainous of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I gotta speak the truth. Look, hey, no disrespect. I love Saquon game, but he gotta show me a little bit more, man. Prove to us that you deserve that kind of money, because the fans gonna be on his back. If he get that contract, with that contract, it's more pressure. That's what players don't realize. Like when Derrick Henry got that money, when Julio got that money, it's pressure. It's pressure, man.
Yeah. Like I said, shout out the home team. And Miss Pamela in the damn building.
How you doing, Miss Pamela? How you doing?
But yeah, I think both of y'all kind of hit it right on the head. Like you said, it's a lot of factors. And the one thing that we're not really speaking on is a lot of these running backs have been getting cut here the last couple of years. Like you said, we just saw Dalvin Cook literally just get cut. And to be honest with you, he's actually been the better running back between him and Saquon.
Great point.
Like you said, Miles Sanders, who was one of the league leading rushers for Philadelphia last year, got his ass cut, and he's in Carolina now. You got Tony Pollard, who's franchise tag. You got Josh Jacobs, franchise tag. See, the problem is with it is the market for the running back and what everybody likes to call a passing league is biting these running backs in the ass because they are falling victim to what the expectation of what most people perceive to be what NFL offenses are. And that's throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the motherfucking ball. That's all they worried about. I saw Alice. He said, so Southside here said, I'm all for Saquon get his money. Benefits of Giants. If you ask me, a running back of his caliber should get the money while he can still play. But like you said, and Trey said it in this chat earlier, This past season was the first time he's played more than 13 games in a year since his rookie year.
So can we afford that on our salary cap? That's the real question, Kay. It's
So
like,
that
are you worth
means
that money? Like on the cap, against the cap, would I rather pay you or pay a top flight wide receiver that might play majority of the games? You know what I'm saying? And then they not getting hit by 300-pounders every play. They're not getting hit by linebackers that's thumping. They getting hit by safeties and corners that are usually much smaller than them. You know, so it's something that I seen recently too, Kay, that I wanted to bring up really quick. I was watching C.J. Johnson. I think that's his name. The guy that used to play running back for the Titans. Isn't his name C.J. Johnson?
Yeah, Chris Johnson. Yeah,
Chris Johnson.
CJ2K.
Yeah, he was basically talking about, and y'all got to check him out as well. I think he has like his own podcast, but he was talking about his sons play football, and he keep telling them stop playing running back, play wide receiver, because that's where the money is going towards in the NFL right now. It's like, and that's why you've seen in this draft. How many guys did we see that were smaller wide receivers? The Tank Dales, the smaller guys, the quick, kind of like used to be scat backs, but now these guys are playing wide receiver. Well, that's for a reason, because that's where the money is, and that's also keeps those hits off your body. Like people don't pay attention to, with a running back, they can hit you anywhere. It ain't no target. You know how in the NFL now, where even we talk about guys going across the middle, you can only hit guys in certain places. In the NFL, you can't hit guys in the head anymore, in the neck and all that kind of stuff like you could back in the day. So to be honest, if your child is playing football and they're a skill position player, CJ2K was saying he's been telling his sons, teaching them how to run routes and stuff like that, because he said that's where the money is, and you preserve your body. And that's all I wanted to say really quick. While you sparked my memory when I had seen that, because he was talking to one of the guys that's in this draft. I think it was the kid that played at Cincinnati with Desmond Ridder. I did a video on him, and he was talking to him, and he basically said that he used to be running back. Yeah, Scott. Yeah, Tyler Scott, I believe his name is. He was talking to him, and he basically was saying like a lot of guys that played running back growing up, like in Pee Wee and stuff like that, they're starting to switch positions to wide receiver because of the injuries and because you can have a longer NFL career. So that's something that these players might want to look into. Like, I know the guys are getting upset, but one thing that Bijan Robinson can do when it's time for his contract with the Falcons, if he turns out to be one of those guys that's getting 50 to 60 catches a season because we're using him as positionless football, really Arthur Smith and them are helping him by doing that, because if the Falcons don't want to pay him when his contract is up, I know I'm looking way down the road, but that's going to actually benefit him in the long run, because he's taking some of those hits off his body. And then when he goes to the negotiating table, if he stays healthy, he can go and say in the open market, not only can I run the ball, but I can run routes like a wide receiver in the slot. And I don't know if Saquon, again, can Saquon do what I'm talking about? Can he run routes and do other things other than just being a battering ram, and taking those hits?
Yeah, man, and Sam and OG in here spitting facts. But before we get to that, we got a $10 super chat from Home Team. So the Saquon team may be telling him the league is starting to value the running game more. That can be confusing with evaluating running backs more. I mean, yeah. The way that they value running backs now is more so of the committee. Like I said, I think a lot of us do agree. Sam said something in this chat earlier too. He said Saquon's not reading the room.
I was about to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I'm about to say, shit, we forgot about Zeke Elliott. That's another goddamn running back.
Yeah, that's.
Le'Veon Bell was sitting out a whole season.
Yeah.
I mean, Le'Veon Bell he literally just came out and said that he made a big mistake going for the money like that. He literally stated, and the thing that I have a problem with a lot of these players of today, they don't understand. It goes by reading the room. What Sam just said, you got to read the room. Times have changed. There's multiple ways that you can generate revenue. I mean, we got a guy that has one of the biggest podcasts in the world right now, and that's Kwame Brown. He was so called the Bus, and this dude has well over 300,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And when I tell you this dude get thousands of dollars, I'm talking about. I've seen somebody put 1,500 on just one show. So this dude making hell of money. He making a lot of money doing these things. So like as a player, you got to understand it's like, yeah, you may not get $100 million um on playing the game, but if you were smart like a guy like um Kwame, and then you just saw right now a dang on punter and Pat McAfee. This dude just got a $50 million contract. He ain't played football and got what 5 years or so. It's like you just got to be intelligent, man. It's like I understand that you want your money, and I think everybody. I don't think anybody's guaranteed money. Just because you play the game, you're not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to have anything. It's a privilege to be able to play a game for that amount of money. Anything over $100,000, yeah, trust me, it's a privilege to be able to do that. Like we got people right now, like ourselves, who looking to just make $80,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? We'll be glad if we just get 80,000. You're getting $100,000 every year to play a game, and that's not even the minimum. And we're complaining about that. So you have to do a better job of reading the room. And like a lot of these agents, I think the biggest thing with him right now, his problem is that he's not reading the room and understanding it's a business. You're not guaranteed anything. Julio Jones got a $60 million contract and quit. Okay, and he's been regretting it ever since he did that. Le'Veon Bell, same thing. He got a major contract. Yeah, he got paid, but guess what? He's been regretting it ever since. So many quarterbacks have gotten so much money, and they have been regretting it ever since. I think one of the quarterback we love to bring up now. He played for the Oakland Raiders. He been regretting getting that contract for years. Okay, so money ain't everything, man. So like if I was Saquon, I would just get what they give you, because at the end of the day, you're an injured running back. You ain't healthy. Why am I like you're a risk? You're a huge risk. You can turn around and tear your ACL again, and then guess what? We still owe you $30 million. That's not a wise investment for the Giants.
I want to hit this right quick. John St. Clair said, "Does it say something about NFL teams not valuing the running back position?" No, the value of the running back position doesn't have the same weight as it did back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, since everybody is, and like you said, you have to blame the narratives, the casual fans, and the 4-letter networks that's been beating everybody's brain in about passing lead. Damn running the ball, pass that mud. Yeah. So while you got a lot of these teams there, you got about 15, 20 quarterbacks throwing for over 4,000 yards. Like you said, you're oversaturating the NFL with throwing the football. And what happens? The quarterback value goes up, the running back value goes down. Now, the wide receiver value goes up, the running back value is down. And then now you're going to another aspect where the defensive tackle positions values start to creep up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But like with Saquon, pretty much, like you said, you gotta read the room. If you're not reading the situation, you're not looking at the league wide and seeing where these running backs is going and how these guys are getting cut, they may possibly cave in. But with him not signed, it's kind of the same thing that we kind of saw as far as the Lamar Jackson situation a little bit, as far as where we're talking about certain incentives and, you know, the tag and, you know, not really having as much of the leverage as you think you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we just have to get to a point in time where, like, sometimes you would rather be the tortoise than the hare. And the problem is people want to be the hare.
Oh boy. Mm.
Yeah.
That hit my
Hey,
but
you said it best, Kay.
but like you said, by Arthur Smith already coming out saying that Bijan's gonna pretty much do everything. Receiving on the side, running special teams. You're getting your bang for your buck without putting that much wear and tear on it. And guess what? The investment becomes a little bit more lucrative. Because who knows, that running back market may not go up for a good little while.
I don't see it. I don't see it going anywhere because, like you said, we're seeing teams like the Falcons and the Chiefs. They're doing the bare minimum with running back position, and they're getting extraordinary. There's no reason for anybody to change that.
Yeah.
Cost efficient.
Yeah, I agree. I think the issue mainly is like what Mike was saying. Like, he's in New York City. Like, where's your marketing team? He needs to market himself because he really need to talk to beast mode. I don't know if you guys seen Marshawn Lynch. He talked about he didn't spend none of his NFL money while he was in the NFL because he had so much, you know, stuff outside with marketing, and he just did a good job of saving his money. Everybody won $100 million deal, and that's why I say you said it best, Kay, when you was like, it's not so much about the tortoise and the hare, like getting all that big money up front. And it goes back to you taking care of your body and being marketed correctly. You know what I'm saying? If he saved his money and you do the right things with your money, you should be good to go. You know, a lot of guys want it all up front. But like you said, if he just takes it 1 year at a time, don't look too far down the road. Because, you know, a lot of times that's what we do. We're looking too far down the road of, okay, you know, where my next dollar going to come from. Instead of just him focusing on his body, focusing on this year, doing what he needs to do, and you'll get paid. The money's gonna come regardless. If you got the skill, and that's what I was talking about with Bijan. Not saying that I don't want him to be a Falcon, and I hate looking, you know, I like to be where my feet are, be in the moment. But it kind of goes back to what you were saying, like all these guys want to be bell cows and stuff like that. But the reason I said, you know, you pay running backs or draft running backs every year is you keep that wear and tear off of these guys' body. Like us having Bijan and Tyler Algier and having CP, it keeps those guys fresh, and it also prolongs those guys' careers. Because like Derrick Henry, yeah, he got all of that money, but we seen the beating that he took. We seen the beating that Devontae Freeman took when he was here with Shanahan those first couple years, and that's why he didn't last. So to be honest, if I was a running back, I would want to be a part of a tandem or a three-headed monster because that keeps the injuries and those hits off of your body. We've seen that with Michael Turner. LaDainian Tomlinson, you know, was pretty much the bell cow, and that kept Michael Turner fresh, and that's why he came to Atlanta. His tires was fresh when he came here because he mainly was just like a third down back and a goal line back when he was with the San Diego Chargers, and that kind of prolonged his career playing with LT. So if Bijan and these guys are smart, make the most out of the touches you get. But I really feel like the Falcons are doing right by our running backs by having 3 and 4 guys that can do multiple things, because that's going to prevent Bijan from taking those hits, Tyler Algier from wearing down, running these guys on the ground. So they're going to get a second contract. It might not be $100 million deal, but they'll get some guaranteed money, especially if they're having, you know, big seasons and stuff like that. So I really think with this Saquon Barkley thing, I think he needs to slow his roll because, you know, we always look at the numbers. Did he have 1,600 yards? Did he have this many yards? If you smart, you want to be a part of a three-headed monster or be a part of a tandem instead of trying to be that workhorse. Trust me, Derrick Henry would have loved to have a partner in the backfield with him, taking some of those hits off his body.
I want everybody to put some fire in the chat right there for Jude.
Boy. Yeah,
Put
he
some fire in
ooh,
the
that was
chat.
heat. Straight heat
That boy
right there,
can't.
boy. Ooh.
Jeez, boy, it's getting hot over here, boy. Like I said, the work we doing the Lord's work today. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the main topic for the night, man. I thought that was a very good discussion. So tonight's topic that we wanted to get, like I said, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, make sure y'all hit that share, subscribe. Like I said, Mad Mike Sports, Jude Talk Sports, 6-Man K Style. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all show us all some love. If you hadn't already subscribed, by the way, but definitely go ahead and share this. So tonight's topic, I thought that was a good kickoff segment right there. So tonight's topic, we're gonna speak on the impact of the veterans of the team. Now, this topic was brought to us by the minister himself. So I thought we're going to let him go ahead and run point on this and give us an insight on what he thinks on these Falcon veterans and how will it impact this team. Floor is yours, Drew.
Yeah, man, we got to thank Grady Jarrett for the topic. Him and Chris Long, just listening to their podcast, listen to Chris Long's podcast. You guys go check it out. He had Grady Jarrett on. You know, they talked about a lot of different things, even down to the Super Bowl in 2016, because Chris Long was a part of that Patriots team that actually beat us in 2016. But that's why I got the idea from. Grady Jarrett made some comments about, you know, why we decided or why he felt like the front office decided to draft Bijan Robinson, because he was asked by Chris Long about the free agency and how he feels about a lot of the veterans that we brought in, the David Onyemadas, the Calais Campbells. And basically Grady just basically came right out and said he didn't think that one of these guys, these young edge rushers, would have been able to come in and have an immediate impact. And that's the reason he thinks that Arthur Smith in the front office, Terry Fontenot, they decided to go with a Bijan Robinson because he would probably have a bigger impact in year one. We see running backs every year come in, wide receivers every year translate immediately, especially the running back position. They pretty much state, all the scouts always state that this is the easiest position to go from the college level to the NFL level is running back play, because you basically just run to the open hole. You know, you basically are playing off of instincts, playing behind your offensive lineman, just hit the open hole. So I really feel like it's very interesting, I think, what the Falcons, you know, did as far as bringing in these veteran guys that they brought in, the Calais Campbells, the David Onyemadas, Eddie Goldman coming out of retirement. And I really feel like a lot of NFL teams, if you look at the NBA, a lot of these teams that have these veteran guys, a lot of Miami Heat that's currently in the finals right now and pretty much ran through the East. They got a guy in Udonis Haslem that's been around the game, and we see what's going on with the Memphis Grizzlies, with them not having the veterans on that team, and how, you know, that team is kind of a mess right now. I really feel like it's going to help this Falcons team this year with having these veteran guys that we brought in. And during the podcast, basically Grady Jarrett talked about 2016, and we have, you know, us having guys like Dwight Freeney, who had played on the, you know, at the highest level, had won a Super Bowl. He came in and was able to help guys like Vic Beasley, able to help the guys that we had on the defensive line. We had guys like Brooks Reed that had been around the league, you know, for many, many years, and were able to help Grady Jarrett, who was only a second-year player in that Super Bowl. And he kind of was able to develop because he played behind, you know, those guys, and Jonathan Babineau. He talked about Paul Soliai early in his career, kind of helped him come along, teach him how to be a professional, because a lot of these guys on the college level, you know, you're in classes and things of that nature, so it's not all day every day football, and you in the building for multiple hours going to meetings, learning how to understand film and things of that nature, how to watch film. And that's why when I do my videos, I always talk about when we bring in any veteran, Bud Dupree, who we brought in, Calais Campbell, these guys are not only going to be able to have impact on the field as like almost like a player coach, but they also going to have that impact off the field, in the locker room with these guys, helping these guys build a regimen. Because you know, when you're a professional, you're gonna have to have days when you lift weights. You're gonna have to eat right. It's the stuff you do outside of the game matters as well. And I really feel like that's what's gonna help this Falcons team this year. And where we kind of struggled the last couple years, what Calais Campbell said, he's seen our Falcons team was right there. 7 or 8 games last year came down to the wire. And he basically seen the talent in the Desmond Ritter. He said he looked at tape with Arthur Smith and he said this team is like right there, but he felt like he could kind of push us over the hump. And he said he could see us winning 12 to 13 games. So that's kind of how what sparked my interest when him saying us bringing in those veteran guys. I really think that that's going to help this young Falcons team. And Grady also talked about the guys that we already have. Everybody keeps forgetting we got AK, we got D'Angelo Malone, we got these young guys. We still got AO. Like, let's not throw him away. Ogun is still on this roster, and we still don't know what he is. But if you bring in a guy like Calais Campbell who can play all 5 positions on that defensive line, he'll be able to help these younger guys come along. Both him, Onyemata, and Grady. Now you got a multitude of guys on that defensive line and on this defense as a whole with the Jesse Bates. You pretty much got veterans on every level that'll help each room, because you know we during the week you got the wide receiver room, you got the defensive linemen. So I really think that it's going to be great having these veterans. And I thought it was very interesting that Grady Jarrett, you know, when him stating like, yeah, I know everybody was upset about not, you know, getting the kid out of Georgia, the defensive tackle, but he felt like the first year you're not going to be able to do nothing. And both him and Chris Long agreed. And Chris Long was a pretty good defensive end when he was in the league. He said, yeah, your first year, it's going to take you time to understand, you know, how to play this grown man's game, because these offensive linemen know how to get up under your pads. They know how to hold you when the ref is not looking. Trust me, they hold it on every play. So it's going to take you time to learn the tricks of the trade. And a lot of the guys that are, you know, those top defensive players on the collegiate level, it still takes time for them to develop. So I just thought that was really interesting, and I'll let you guys take it from there and get y'all thoughts, because I know it's a little long-winded, but yeah, man, I think that it's very interesting this season, just having these veterans on the team. I think that that's going to make the difference in those one possession games that we lost last year.
I wouldn't call that long-winded. I know they about sick of
It's
hearing us.
they tired of all this shit. That's they ready to hear you.
What you got on that, Mike? You can go ahead and go next. What you want to chime in on what you just said?
I mean, I totally agree. I don't think at this point in time, it's like, for one, that you have to understand, like, it depends on the type of ball that you're playing. Also, that plays a tremendous factor. Because the Falcons, they run the ball and they're looking to stop the ball. So stop the run. So what else is what that is, like, they know for the most part it's going to be a slow grind, but they want to contend at the same time. And the only way you're going to get to that is to have veteran players. These players are not going to have a ton of opportunities, especially the younger players, especially if we come out running the ball as much as we do. A lot of the wide receivers, the Kyle Pitts, the Drake Londons, the Desmond Ritter, these guys are going to slowly come along. It's not going to be a fast process. So in order to kind of speed up that process, you got to have the veteran players like a Calais Campbell. You have to have Grady Jerry. You have to have Jake Matthews. Those guys sitting there. And I think that's the thing. Lorenzo Carter. You have a Caden Ellis. He's another veteran guy. David Onyemata. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of veteran guys. Jesse Bates. Those are a lot of veteran guys there. So I think the biggest thing when it comes down to what Grady was saying is like, yeah, I would love to have Jalen Carter. I would love to have Nolan Smith. I would love to have those young kids, but are they really going? We already see. I told myself I wasn't gonna say this, but I mean, we literally just went through this the whole Desmond Ritter being too
I'm about to
damn
say you
young,
breaking up pretty.
and we wanted to trade for a veteran players, a more accomplished quarterback. That was the whole thing about having a guy like trading for a guy like Lamar Jackson because you want it now. Well, in order to win games, like you're not gonna win games with just a young defense, a young quarterback, a young wide receiver core. That's not gonna happen. And that just keep it real. For the most part, this is a young head coach. And he needs his guys in order to win games. So, like a lot of people want to wait the process. They don't want to wait 5 years to see if Arthur Smith is the guy.
I'm about to say, Mike, boy, it sound like Bobby Petrino done got a hold of your damn headset or something, boy. But yeah, God damn, I about lost my damn train of thought already. Good Lord. But let's see. Veterans. Tell Mike get him back on here. Yeah, I think it's very key for this team. Drew, you kind of hit an analogy that I didn't even think of about the Memphis Grizzlies and the difference between where Memphis is at as far as team wise and where a team like Denver and Miami are at. But I think it's gonna definitely be good for these guys. They definitely needed it. Like you said, these last couple seasons where you did have a lot of these young guys, you didn't have a lot of veterans in certain rooms. Like you said, when Kyle Pitts came in, he had nobody to learn under. He had to learn from the quarterback. But as far as his position room, tight ends and wide receivers, he didn't have nobody to learn from. So he had to learn on the fly. Like you said, you had other guys. You had Tyler Algier. You got it's the pleasure of being around a Cordero Patterson, somebody that can kind of show him the ropes a little bit, even though Patterson is kind of like a newly converted running back, but you still had that veteran presence. You look at the secondary, like I said, you got a whole bunch of young guys here. And this is the good part about having a young team is you get to see them develop. Now you give them the opportunity to bring in some OGs in here. The OGs is going to help propel these young guys to the next level. You good, Mike? Senator Palpatine. Senator Palpatine. All right. Get right back to us. But yeah, you completely right, you. Mike is right as well. Like I said, that's the only thing this team was missing last year was veterans that was worth a damn. Let me rephrase that. Veterans that were worth a damn.
Yeah. And veterans that hold weight, like their name hold weight. Like a lot of times people like wonder like, why do y'all care? Like when I was like, we need Calais Campbell. Like when they were first saying like Calais Campbell is coming to visit the Falcons, I'm like, lock the building. Terry Fontenot, y'all do whatever y'all can to not let this guy leave with Atlanta without a contract. Like I was like, do everything in your power to pay him. And everybody was like, why are you making a big deal? You know what I'm saying? He 37 or 38, but it's like he has 99 sacks, career sacks in his
Those people are
career.
morons.
He's a guy that's made the all decade team. Like he's one of those guys that's gonna be a future Hall of Famer. And when Dwight Freeney walked in that building in 2016, it made a difference. And it's the same with Calais Campbell. He's still a guy that's playing at a high level, but you guys got to think about it. Like it's one thing to get fussed at, or a coach to tell you to do something this way, but it's a totally different thing when you got an all-decade player or a future Hall of Fame player telling you do it this way, and I got the results. You know what I'm saying? It just makes a difference, man. It's the same thing when we had Julio Jones here. When he was in that locker room with those wide receivers, it's one thing to have a Olamide Zaccheaus, no knock on Olamide Zaccheaus, but having a Julio Jones, somebody that's done it at the highest level, that's been an all-pro or first-team all-pro, those players look up to those guys. I see in the chat somebody said John Abraham. He was another guy when he came to Atlanta. Like those guys, those big-name guys that's done it at the highest level, I don't care what you say. I say it all the time. When certain players talk, I listen. When Grady Jarrett says something in the locker room, trust me, those players listen. When Julio Jones talked in that locker room, even though he was a guy who, didn't talk a whole lot, when he spoke, people listened. And I feel like Calais Campbell is one of those guys where people already talk about just his presence. He's an enormous, a giant. Everybody's talking about how big he is and just how his personality, it takes over the room. You know what I'm saying? In that locker room, I really feel like his leadership is going to be huge. And that's why I keep saying, to me, even over Jesse Bates, I love Jesse Bates and thinks he's a great player. But I keep saying the biggest signing for the Atlanta Falcons was Calais Campbell because of his leadership. You could just feel his leadership and just his words. Like people don't realize how much power your words have, your encouragement has. Just think about, like, we look at these interviews and these podcasts, and trust me, as you heard Desmond Ridder say when they asked him, have you heard about, when the draft, everybody was saying the Falcons was going to take a quarterback, and he talked about like him having a TV. Well, trust me, he heard the things that Calais Campbell had to say about him, and you want those leaders that's going to feed confidence into these young guys. And I really feel like with Calais Campbell saying he could see this team winning 12 or 13 games, and him in the locker room, rubbing off on these guys, rubbing shoulders with these guys, I really feel like that's going to make a huge difference when you have somebody that's done it at the highest level. Like it's not somebody just talking, as K-Styles talked about when we had guys like Steven Means on our team. No disrespect. You talked about him being one of those guys that would encourage and had the pom-poms out. Yeah, he was he was one of those guys that was going to encourage the team, but his game, he couldn't back it up with his
4,
game.
6, 8. Yeah, who do we appreciate? Steven Means. Yay!
Yeah. It's levels to it. So that's what I'm saying. It's levels to it. When you got somebody that's done it, these guys are gonna actually listen. It's one thing to have somebody that's talking a big game. No disrespect to Steven Means, because he did his thing when he was here. But when you say Calais Campbell, everybody in the league ears is to the ground. When he speaks, everybody listens. Everybody ain't gonna be nobody in the locker room that's gonna disrespect him. When you got certain players that talk, players. We seen AB on his phone when his coach was talking after the AFC Championship game, I believe it was, with the Steelers. You had those players that's gonna be like, "Oh man, that's whoever." He don't even got the game to back that up. It goes back to the whole Dylan Brooks thing with the Memphis Grizzlies when he made that comment about LeBron and he ended up taking the bulk of the blame. It was like people looked at him as he don't have the game to make that statement. If that would have been Ja Morant making those statements about LeBron saying he was old and all of that, nobody would have had anything to say. But because it was somebody like Dylan Brooks, who they felt like he wasn't on a LeBron type of level, that's what I kind of talk about with this whole Calais Campbell thing is now people are really going to actually feel confident. When he speaks, everybody around him is going to actually listen. Whereas if you just got a role player saying certain things, you're not going to really pay it much mind.
Man, you saying that just remind me of Tyler Davidson. I don't know why his name just popped in my head of absolute Why? I don't know why. I don't know why he just popped in my head like that. Like Tyler Davidson was the epitome of we're gonna bring in a leader. Hopefully he does something, and then you forget he's on the football team until he gets cut. Yeah. But yeah, but like you said, as well as having the veteran players, but it's definitely good to have the coaching who specializes in development too, because that adds another element to the development of these guys. Arnold Everett Kennedy, D'Angelo Malone, like you said, even Cade Nellis is still pretty young himself. He's not old, but he's pretty young. But he has a football pedigree. As you know, he is the son of Luther Ellis. For a lot of the football fans that might be new to this, then, like you said, Zach Harrison, Timothy Horn, Taquan Graham. Like, these guys are young. And like you said, by bringing in a defensive guy like Ryan Nielsen, who specializes in development of defensive linemen and edge rushers, you're bringing in a coach like Jerry Gray, who's good at developing DBs. And like you said, you're bringing in the right veterans. Like you said, hey, man, they just basically, Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot was telling us, hey, like, shit, y'all lead us to the promised land. You good over there, Mike? You ready? Yeah, boy. I about to say, damn, Bobby Petrino got a hold of that connection over there, and just ended up leaving in the middle of the night.
Boy.
But let's go ahead, y'all. Y'all go ahead and start getting these questions in, man. We're gonna go ahead and hit this Q&A segment right quick, man. Like I said, we're gonna definitely get some questions in here. Like I said, we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in as usual. Let's go ahead and get these questions in. Read a few of these comments right quick while we're waiting on some questions, by the way. Ghost Peppers here says, I picture Campbell and Jared being co-alpha dogs of a defense that's now attacking instead of retreating. I like how you put that. A defense that's finally physical rather than funny and farcical. Yeah, he's right about that. Like I said, if you're gonna go down swinging, if you're gonna be losing in a fight, you rather go down swinging than cuddling up in the corner.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Southside here says our Falcons are the youngest offense in the league right now. I wouldn't be surprised at all. They got a lot. They may be one of the youngest teams in this league, not just offensively. Yeah. Jew, you got a question here from the OG. Let you know, let's get your take on this. He said, what are your thoughts on Scotty Miller being an X factor?
What's going on, OG? I really feel like Scotty Miller, he does bring the championship pedigree coming over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I really feel like his biggest impact is going to be stretching the field, to be real. I really feel like this offense really is like similar to the West Coast offense, like get the ball in the playmakers' hands and allow them to do some different things. And Scotty Miller actually talked about when he came over to Atlanta, like in OTAs, they were asking him about what is his role going to be with the team. And he was like, basically, I'm going to be able to do more than just stretch the field. And I feel like with the Buccaneers, that's all they wanted him, to do was run like those 9 routes or streak patterns. I think with the Falcons, we want to use him in like global screen and, things of that nature.
Mad Mike.
It sounds like Mike is back.
I told you so. Oh, I told you so. I told y'all so. Didn't I
And
tell
that
y'all? Didn't I tell you that the Falcons' offense is similar to what the Chiefs? And you just ran right into it.
and that, my friends, is the Christmas Carol version of Mike's hit single "I Told You So."
I told you so. That's all. I told you
That,
so.
that,
Look,
that the
I'm just
old
saying.
the
Let
old
me let
Frank.
me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick, K Style.
Go ahead, do
You know
that.
what? The problem is wasn't the fact that the Falcons didn't go get veterans. They was like the problem came from it came from that idiot Dan Quinn. He didn't want to pay for veterans. He thought he was good enough as a teacher to say, "All right, that's all we needed." He didn't want anybody else to take credit for that defense and that team other than himself. That's why he didn't bring back a Dontari Poe. He didn't bring back Adrian Claiborne AC. That he didn't bring back those guys. That's another thing that kind of, so it wasn't the fact that the Falcons didn't value. They didn't want to pay for value.
But you're gonna bring in damn Derek Shelby. We only
Derek
seen
freaking Shelby.
this motherfucker, and you're bringing in Charles Harris, who you couldn't get shit out of, but as soon as he go to damn Detroit, he damn near get 10 sacks. Ain't that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, he didn't want to pay. He didn't want to pay for the value. It's like at some point you got to start being cheap. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Mm-hmm.
start being cheap and go get it.
Right. All right, wait, baby. Got a question for me. Say, what do you want to see the Falcons do better this season? I just want to see a little bit more of the balance. We kind of saw a good glimpse of it the last few games. Um, Desmond Ritter averaged, I think, six more pass attempts per game in those 4 games than Marcus
Whoa,
Mariota. So
whoa, 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 whoa. So you mean to tell me Michael Anthony Linson, aka Senator Palpatine, that the Falcons threw the ball more?
it was about it. Yeah, it was about like it was a legit balance. Like you said,
That's
ran the
real interesting.
they ran the ball about 30 times per game those last 4 games, and Desmond Ritter averaged 29 pass attempts a game.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm tired of being right.
Come on. But
So the Falcons, they passed the ball more than they was doing the entire season. That's what you was talking about. So I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you guys that. With that, what they just said, what K Style just put them numbers they just put out. Would you say that Arthur Smith trusts Desmond Ritter?
I mean, like you said, he got 117 passing attempts in 4 games. That sounds like a lot of trust to me. That sounds like some good enough trust.
Hmm.
Let's be real. He trusted Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota didn't trust his own arm. And them passes that he made, he just wouldn't throw the ball. Let's just be
He's
real.
No,
doing the asshole. Y'all just don't. He's doing it
Hey,
just the nicest way.
hey, I'm just being real. He didn't trust his own arm, bro.
shit, he
In the
trusted his
NFL,
arm. He trusted his
Oh my
arm.
god.
I guess he trusted it enough to throw grenade balls out there. So,
nah, he was
Oh my god.
he trusted more his legs than his arm, and that's what really killed him. Like, to be real, I didn't see much difference in, like, everybody acts like it was like a lot of difference in Desmond Ritter and Marcus Mariota as far as the play calling. I really didn't see like a lot of difference. The difference I saw was Marcus Mariota was scared to throw the ball. Like, he was scared to put the ball in tight windows where We see that play over and over again against the Cardinals at the end of the game where Desmond Ridder makes that throw, and if he's late, that's an interception, but he just let it go. Like, he did not hold the ball. We've seen how many times we see him throw the ball in harm's way up to Drake London against the Ravens. He did it multiple times in that game where he just threw it up. He didn't wait to see if he was open. He's like, he's 6'5", he open. I'm just going to put it over there and give him a chance to make a play. Like, we seen those same passes by Marcus Mariota just thrown out of bounds, like multiple times, whether it was Kyle Pitts, whether it was Drake London. And that's why I keep going back to it. You know, I'm not trying to be funny with the whole Marcus Mariota thing, but the dude just wouldn't make the throws. That's just the bottom line. And that's why he got benched. And I really think that's why Arthur Smith wanted to make it clear. And I really feel like I say Arthur Smith is a savage when he came out and was basically stated, like, it wasn't due to injury why I benched Marcus Mariota. I benched him because of his play. Like, he made that plain and clear that it had nothing to do with that knee injury. It was mainly because of his play. And we've seen that Thursday night football game. Like, yeah. After that game,
I think we all saw that.
Yeah,
I think that was like he was ready to explode after that, but he like, let me give him one more shot. Yeah. So he won't say that I'm fucking him over. Yeah. So they won the next game, and then the next two games, it just Yeah.
His confidence was gone. His confidence was shot. We seen on that Thursday night game when the quarterback just starts throwing the ball up for grabs, running out of bounds, just throwing the ball up. Yeah, at that point, you know, like, yeah, his confidence is gone. And that's when I kind of knew, like, yeah, it's over for Marcus Mariota because he didn't believe in himself at that point. So
there you go, Blackberry, the spin-a-rooney throw. Yeah, that was boy. But he was definitely telling that defense, can you dig this? I was like, bro. But yeah, 29 points. I mean, 29 attempts per game in those 4 games. Like I said, I just want to see the better balance. I believe that we will see that it is going to be a lot better right now, because just like you said, it's not necessarily that the skill sets are different. It's the mindsets of the quarterback that is different.
Confidence is huge for quarterbacks. You got to be able to believe in your ability to make those throws. Like, you can see it, but if you don't believe you can make that throw, it's like you're worthless to a team. And that was the thing that was wrong with Kyle Pitts. A lot of times, I tell people all the time, a lot of those receivers, they were open. He just didn't make the throw.
Southside said the grass throw.
Kel, you remember you heard me in these chats, because we every Sunday, every game day for the most part, we like to listen to the game together. How many times have you heard me say, "Throw the damn ball"?
Well, might hit one of them Michelet notes.
Bro, he made me so mad because guys would be open and he would just be pump faking and just standing there and looking. I'm like, man, if you don't let the ball loose. And like that's what frustrated Kyle Pitts more than anything. He was open. A lot of those guys were open, but he just wouldn't let them go. And we saw that when Desmond Ridder got into the game. I mean, he made. Let's just be honest with this. He made Michael Pruitt a household name. Those 4 games. Come on, because he just let it go.
Right.
And Jamal Grant with the you get that K Styles. I didn't mean to cut you off. With him just saying he made him a household name, just imagine what Kyle Pitts would be doing in that situation. Because those same routes Pruitt was running, you can't tell me that Kyle Pitts wasn't open if Pruitt's open.
Right.
And Jamal Grant with the $2 super chat said barbecue or mildew. He said, we looking for more Frank Darby, 9-88 touchdown.
Not me. He can have that shit. I ain't looking for it. I just want him to catch the ball. I ain't looking for all that. I just want him to catch the ball.
I bet he got to make the team first. This roster,
Yeah, make the team first before we start doing that.
Yeah, I'm just being real. This competition looking thick. This team gonna be hard to make. I'm telling you, it ain't no more just making a team who ain't got no money. Like that, them days is over with.
Mm-hmm. Dreddy said that Taquan Graham fumble almost killed me too.
That's the first game I've been that stressed. I don't remember ever being that stressed. I'm talking about years. That stressed with that Carolina game. That I like to lost. I like to lost it.
I think that second Carolina game. Yeah, I think I went to work that next day just pissed off the whole day. Yeah, that game just did something to me. It was like the whole team played horrible that night.
It was. Yeah,
everybody played bad, but it was like they played bad, and then you played like absolute horse shit right here. I'm seeing passes getting thrown all the way to Mount Olympus and shit, and motherfucker fair catching interceptions. I'm looking like.
I was just looking like TVK. That's it. I was just mad it was on national TV, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it fed into the narrative.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Embarrassed on national TV like that. Yeah, in front of the world, man.
No, it was 2 years 3 years in a row that we was on national TV and made a complete blunder ass play. If we go back to 2020, where you had your hands team looking at the ball on the
I really I blocked that out of my memory, K-Sal. God dang, man, you brought some bad memories back.
Shit, these bad memories live on forever. Then fucked around on national TV, gave up a touchdown in 46 seconds to a Lions team with no timeouts for a 75-yard drive and 4 throws. Turned around the next year, played Thursday Night Football against the Patriots, and we had one of the Falcon memes of the century where you got Russell Gage and Tajay Sharp having a coyote and road runner incident where they running into each other.
We can't make this stuff up, boy.
You can't make it up.
We can't make this up, bro. And then we wonder why we don't got no national TV televised game this
year. See, the thing is with a lot of Falcon fans we're wanting to see this team become a playoff team again. But we have to realize too that every path to success ain't always going to be the same. You're thinking that it's going to be, okay, we need this high power passing offense. We tried that. Ain't going to work. If you know the Falcons' history as far as successful teams and regimes, started with 2 things. That's running the football. Well, 3 things. Running the football, play action, defense. There are 4 things if you count special teams, which we are going to. Those 4 things in this franchise history has always brought success to this team. When you're missing one of those elements or 2, it usually don't work. Brian people said, boy, he thought you was about to go ham after that Dallas game.
Oh, yeah, man.
Man, look. Yeah, Jew. Woo, boy.
Jew and Maggie, boy, they was on a whole new one.
Boy.
That day. Yeah. I remember my exact line after that game was we had our players looking at the football like it was a grenade and nobody wanted to jump on it. We were literally looking at the ball like it was gonna blow up instead of picking the ball up. I had never seen that in my life. And then we had our head coach go in there and say, "Oh, we didn't tell nobody not to go touch the ball, bruh." Just take accountability. Just take accountability. We know that these players were told not to touch the ball because why would they just stand there and look at the ball?
There and who the heck? Who would? Never mind. Just I'm glad Quinn ain't here no more. Jesus Christ. He gonna again. That's like the third or fourth he did. We should have saw it coming because he made an example out of Richard Smith in the first year.
Yeah.
The second year, he fired him and then tried to blame on him. The defense wasn't doing what they were doing. He fired him, and then turned around. He took over. It didn't look well either, and then he fired
Marquand
Manuel, and then turned around, fired, and then did the same thing with Raheem Morris. Like it's always like they said. We should have saw that coming from a mile away. At some point, you just got to take accountability for your actions as a coach. Like if a team don't perform well, it's you. It's not them.
Well, when you think about it, it made sense because it was kind of weird that Raheem Morris was a defensive guy coming in, and then he all of a sudden switched to being a wide receiver coach.
Mm-hmm.
That right there. Looking back at it now, should have told us everything we need.
Red flags all over the place.
I literally just thought about that just now. You said Raheem Morris.
Why are red flags all over the place? We were doomed, bro.
I was not saying
naive, bro.
I was like, okay, yeah, because I remember when Raheem Morris first came here, everybody he was like, okay, he coming from this defensive side of the ball, you know, he's helped being a good motivator and stuff. And I'm looking like, okay, cool, we got Raheem Morris. 2 years later, Raheem Morris now wide receivers coach. Huh?
Oh goodness.
We ain't had no success since he became a wide receiver. What? You know what? Hold on. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2,
3. Oh what man.
Heck is but you know what? Yeah, it was red flags all over the damn place, bro.
I know I talked myself into that move. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I talked myself into that.
I was so mad about the whole Marquand Manuel thing because, like I said, they weren't great, but like I said, they made plays when they need to make the plays, and that's what this defense was trying to get to. With Richard Smith as well. It is kind of funny that once Richard Smith gets fired, Debo kind of goes down a little bit. You get rid of Marquand Manuel, Ricardo Allen's skill just
you start the best over
This motherfucker Dan Quinn and Thomas Mitchell ain't shit, boy. Good God. I should have known they wasn't shit after that, and the simple fact that you got your star running back getting his ass choke slammed on the field by Aaron Donald, and nobody on the team even came to his defense. And you said nothing but like, well, we'll get him next time, buddy.
Oh goodness.
Welcome. Oh my God. I just need to get that red flag, bro. I can't get it out my head. How the hell do you go from a defensive guy to a wide receiver coach?
A wide receiver coach, bro.
In the middle of the season. The middle of the season. and the Falcons didn't make the playoffs since.
I
You
need
know
some
what?
questions,
You
y'all.
know what?
Y'all need to give us some questions. Give us some more. Give
I
me
need
about
some
one or two
questions.
more questions, okay? Please.
I ain't got nothing to gain from talking about this. I'm starting to get upset. Oh, look. Oh, John say, Clint said, I wonder how many times Arthur Blank wanted to choke his head coach. Oh, Lord. Shit. I know he wanted to choke that motherfucker after that Super Bowl. Like, bro, what happened to the time management? You supposed to be the overseer. What is going
Man, okay, so will you stop talking? Because now I'm starting to get. Oh my god.
Ain't nobody got no damn questions. That's the fucked up part about it.
Who come?
Hold
Who
on.
has the time management? Like that's another thing. What I don't remember. I'm sure there's been one, but who hires a time management guy?
Man, they need to hire somebody, goddamn, because damn Dan Quinn damn show didn't be the overseer. He was just the guy that was there. Oh, that's okay, guys. I know we gave up a 25-point lead. It's okay. It's okay. We got pizza parties ready for y'all.
Wow,
Blackberry
not a
just
piece
said,
of
how
fun.
do you feel about the Paul Pierce situation?
I have no idea what happened.
Something new just came up. Oh, Lord.
I don't know. I wonder if he's talking about the whole Kevin Garnett thing being live and him. Paul Pierce is doing what got him fired. That's all. What got him fired from ESPN.
Oh, Lord.
We know he be wilding.
That man been wilding, but like you said, after Benzino, his boy that jumped him in the club when he was younger, yeah, he been wilding ever since. What'd you say, Mike? Wavy here said, in what week do you guys think we should be coming in to play our best ball of the season?
Towards the end of the season, you want to be trending. You want to be trending towards the playoffs. You want to be getting hot like we did in 2016. Like, I mean, if you can start the season off hot and stay hot the whole season, I just say don't try to go undefeated. Like, I heard somebody talking about maybe the Falcons to go undefeated this season.
He hired an escort to watch the finals with.
Yeah, he was wilding. Nah, he was wilding. we gotta talk about that off air, okay?
Yeah, because I'm about to you know what? I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, you talking about hiring?
He hired an escort.
And when he hired a stripper, like,
well, so what?
Whatever the heck it was.
And look, at least he had.
That's what he talking about?
I guess. I don't know.
Basically, KG was live, and you guys know he worked for, like, I guess Showtime Basketball, like All the Smoke and all of that.
That's it.
He got his own show with KG.
Is he
it's called like KG Certified.
Talking about hiring a stripper or whatever?
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. But they were live watching the game together. You know how like Stephen A does like Stephen A's World, and he be like interviewing people while he watching the game. Basically, KG and Paul Pierce was watching the game together, and he had a girl there. Then he was basically talking about, I hire, girls to be my girlfriend for a day. Yeah, he was wilding. KG kept having to tell him over and over again, like, we live, bro, we live. But he was drunk on his live, and he kept saying stuff so much so KG had to basically kept like cutting his show off for it and kind of trying to calm him down. Basically, he was just like, tell me later. But Paul Pierce was wilding, bro. Yeah. Like I said, it was similar to what got him fired. He was smoking and had those, those strippers and stuff like that on his live, his Instagram live.
Well, he did a lot better with the stripper girls than Zion Wilson did with what we call her Miss Plastic herself. Yeah, I really don't want to go into that because That's damn near on some stalkerish. That motherfucker needs some security for real shit right there.
Blackberry said it best, K. He said he was drunk and belligerent. Yeah, like if y'all I watched that drink and I was like, he trying to get KG fired too. KG was like, bro, chill. I like KG finna choke Paul Pierce out. You talking about
like, man, you ain't finna cost me my job over this escort. What is you doing?
Like, I mean, we know they do things like that, but you ain't got to tell the whole world, bro. Golly.
I mean, he was literally on his live talking, Mike, like he wasn't like nothing. Like had a girl right there, kept talking about margarita. Send me another margarita, like right on the live. Like he like, bro,
wow.
He told like 3 times, like, bro, he live.
So that's what that was about. I saw it, but I didn't know that was the. Oh man.
Yeah, it was ugly, bro. To the point where like he literally had to like. It's almost like we cutting the show right now. And then have him come back live. Like he did it like 3 times. It's like on the video. I watched the whole video. He basically was like cut the show. Then it was like waiting for them to come back up. Then he popped back on and he's like, bro, we lied. Like he kept having to tell him, but he was drunk. So it was ugly, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was ugly. So I'm like, basically, you trying to get KG fired too. Like you trying to basically have what happened. Like to the point KG was about to put hands on this man. KG kept telling them like, chill, bro. And he just kept going. I'm like, man, yeah, it's one of those. Y'all got to check it out. Everybody in the chat, go check it out.
I gotta see that.
Ugly.
I need a good laugh, but boy,
that sounds bad. Good God.
Y'all check out my Twitter too. Yeah, if y'all follow me on Twitter at You Talk Sports, because you know that Stephen A. Smith had something to say about it. And basically,
I'm actually looking at it now. Good God Almighty! Ouch.
Yeah. I got a PSA announcement to make for everybody, and this is going to Zion Williamson. You might need to serve her some papers, boy, because bruh, for a chick to be tweeting about a dude every hour of every day for the last week and a half, there's a problem right there. See, if she was, and I'm gonna say it like that, if she was supposed to be the side chick, she'd have messed her bag up for the future. Because side chick 101 is you say nothing about anything.
Hush. That's what you do.
She didn't know she was a side chick, K-Style. She thought she was
yeah,
that was a problem, K. She didn't know she was a side chick.
She didn't know, dude.
was it she found out, was it announced the baby, like, oh yeah, me and my girl, we about to have a baby, yeah. Oh, wait a goddamn.
Oh, what? You taking me to games and then I'm the side chick? Oh.
You know what? That would explain why Zion keeps getting hurt. Because she been putting the hurting on this boy.
Oh my God. You need to stop. You need to stop.
So that's why he been missing games, because he been getting his late night tip on before the goddamn games, and he ain't got enough energy to play. That's why. It makes too much sense now. And we're gonna end the show on that.
Paul Pierce and Zion need an intervention. Oh, dang, man. We're gonna end the show.
Well, at least with Paul Pierce, he said he paid for him for a day. So he tricking the right way. Zion, I don't know what the hell Zion doing. He over here.
He ain't never had a girlfriend before. I'll just leave it like that.
He's selling dreams. The whoever this.
Oh baby, I love you. I'm gonna take you to Italy. I'm gonna marry you next week. That's what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. And if you see how badly built this chick is, I wouldn't claim her neither.
Boy.
My gosh.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I read about it is that she spent $250,000 on plastic surgery to look like that. And if that was the case, motherfucker, you need a refund. That shit looks horrible. So
see what happened.
We're gonna go ahead and end the show. He said, no comment.
y'all, you see when y'all don't put comments in the chat, the show that went left.
Mm-hmm. It said was feeding Zion.
Oh boy.
It was feeding Zion double waffle burgers with extra syrup. All right, y'all, man. Like I said, we gonna end it right here. Like you said, man, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to Jew Talk Sports, Mad Mike Sport. Let's get Jew to 2,150. Specific reason why I say that. Let's get Mad Mike to 10K, and let's get me about 13. That's the next goal. Like I say, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share.
I don't like the way this going. I'm about out of this conversation. I don't.
Well, we about to end the damn show anyway. They can have it in there. We about to end right here because I could actually go a lot worse. But until next time, people, tune in for the 6-man combo tomorrow because we ain't here to play. We ain't here to play.
He done dipped on us. He said, y'all ain't gotta go home.
We ain't here to play. See?
I don't want no parts of this. I'm good.
We'll forget you too then. We ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't gotta go home.
Gotta get the hell up out of here. Ooh, yeah.
And that last segment was brought to us by Manscaped. Manscaped it. Deuces.
Oh my goodness.